Before we go into our committee session, we're going to have a presentation by the Fort Wayne Professional Firefighters. Would you please come up to the table?
Got the clicker. She showed me how to use it.
Just give us your names and identify yourself, please.
I am Jeremy Bush, president of the Fort Wayne Professional Firefighters, and this is...
I'm Chuck Taylor, Fort Wayne Firefighters.
Welcome.
So to begin with, we would just like to thank you guys for the opportunity. We know how busy you are, and anytime we can come down and take the time to address you guys and have conversation is a good thing, so we really appreciate the opportunity tonight. It's the mission of the Fort Wayne Professional Firefighters to promote public awareness, foster economic growth, and aggressively defend the lives and property of those we serve. Kind of bring attention to the foster economic growth. Firefighters not only serve the community, but obviously we live in the community, and we want to be a part of good, sound financial decisions and sustainability for this city's future, so we appreciate that. So it's been suggested that collective bargaining leads to higher than market rate wages and benefits. So in an effort to engage in fair, informed, and productive negotiations, the Fort Wayne Professional Firefighters took about 12 months to compile a bunch of data. We contacted the top 50 municipalities in the state of Indiana, and we compiled the real facts and figures of where we rank. So as we look at the top 5 fire departments in Indiana, I think everybody will know that Indianapolis and Fort Wayne are top 1 and 2. So we start to break this down. We look at base salary for Fort Wayne without benefits. As you look at the top 10, you see Indianapolis, Carmel, Wayne, Pike Township, Fishers, Westfield. See the top 15, we'll get down through departments like Noblesville, West Lafayette, Hammond. You won't see the city of Fort Wayne. It isn't until we get to 20th where you see base salary without benefits is where the Fort Wayne firefighters rank. So in a comparison, this is 30% lower than the Indianapolis Fire Department. However, we know that we have to look at benefits. So let's look at benefits. So when we combine our salary and benefits, the top 10 pretty much stays consistent. Again, Carmel, Indianapolis, working our way down through Westfield, Fishers, Speedway. Look at the top 20. We work our way down through Lafayette, Franklin, Terre Haute. You still won't see the city of Fort Wayne. Top 25, we work down through Jeffersonville, Zionsville, Plainfield. Again, you won't see the city of Fort Wayne here. It isn't until we get to 27th in overall combined salary and benefits that you'll see the Fort Wayne Fire Department. So when you compare these numbers, it brings us to 43% lower than the Indianapolis Fire Department. Now, obviously, one of the indicators of fair market value, we have to compare cost of living, so we don't fool ourselves here. So as we look at Indianapolis, and there's several sources that we cited here, and they can all be provided for anybody that would have questions or ask, but Indianapolis cost of living is 10% higher than the city of Fort Wayne. So we would need to see an increase of around 33% to be comparable with the Indianapolis Fire Department. I would be clear here that we're not advocating for a 33% pay increase. So we know we fit within the budget. We just wanted to make sure everybody's aware. Again, when we compare ourselves to Indianapolis, top 1 and 2 cities in the state where the Fort Wayne Fire Department is. So another indicator, fair market wage, is median household income. And how does that compare from Indianapolis and Fort Wayne? This was kind of surprising to us. Fort Wayne, and this is using the Census Bureau, we're actually 3% higher than Indianapolis in median household income. So compared to Indianapolis, Fort Wayne has a higher market rate for the private sector. And we say private sector because that encompasses about 97% of the market. So does Fort Wayne simply have a lower market rate for public servants? Now, this isn't going to come as a shock to you, and I'll speed through this fairly quickly, but we've had conversations at the table. We look at the mayor, city council, again, median household income in Indianapolis, and we compare it in red here with Fort Wayne. And we see with the top 3, you'll see kind of comparisons here. They're all higher. And it's until we get to the firefighters that we see we're below market rate. So Fort Wayne firefighter salaries are well below market rate. And as an unintended consequence of that, our application numbers are falling steadily. So as we go back to 2013, we saw over 1,000 applicants for our department. If you fast forward to 2017, our last class, we are seeing below 400 applicants for those same positions. Now, we bring you back to comparisons, Indianapolis and Carmel. And we want to read a quote to you. Mayor James Brainerd, I believe, he is the mayor of Carmel. I believe that negotiating the best pay and benefits for our firefighters will result in the best qualified candidates wanting to work in our fire department. If we want the best for our communities, we need to be willing to fight for them to be fairly compensated. As a result of that, they've seen pretty steady applicant numbers. Also with Indianapolis, they had a slight drop in 2014, but in 2016, they're right back up over 2,000 applicants. Also, over the past 10 or 15 years, we've seen our daily staffing levels decrease. In 2004, we had 101 firefighters working per day serving the city of Fort Wayne. Fast forward to 2018, we have 96 firefighters working per day. This is simply to show you that we're doing more with less. Despite our declining manpower, we've seen an increase in population in that same time period. So 2013, under 260,000, 2017 up to 264,000, so a 2% increase in that same time period. So emergency calls have increased, and the calls are becoming more complex and more diverse as we go along. So in 2013, the fire department responded to just over 17,600 calls. 2017, we responded to just under 23,000 calls. Now, in response to this increase, volume, complexity, just the diversity of everything that we're going through, obviously we have to kind of change and adapt. Fort Wayne firefighters completed over 90,000 hours of training in 2017. One of the initiatives, you guys were a part of these conversations, was placing advanced life support personnel on every one of our fire engines. We did this to heighten the level of service to the community and hopefully affect and change and save more lives. We also adopted a rescue task force concept. This puts firefighters on the front line in a situation where, with the growing trend of active shooters, firefighters are no longer waiting behind a rig. They're no longer waiting behind a barricade. They are in there responding with the first arriving officers to mitigate and better help those patients that are in harm's way. We've implemented technical rescue trucks. With situations like this, it's more complex. We need to have additional resources and items placed on those trucks, and in response to that, we implemented that rescue truck concept. We have 3 specialty teams, one of which is our water rescue team. This incident actually happened in the city of Fort Wayne. This is Captain Brett Brown, the child wandered out on the ice to get his backpack, fell through the ice, and Captain Brett Brown went out there and saved this kid's life. Special operations team, so these individuals are a little more technical. They would respond to incidents like a grain bin rescue or a trench rescue. And we have our, last but not least, our hazardous materials team. These individuals will respond to, a barrel leaking with an unknown substance or something like a tanker truck spill on I-69. So we always have this conversation about what does it cost. So we wanted to break it down, and so everybody out there has a clear understanding. We contacted the assessor's office, broke down the numbers, the amount of households in our community. And when you break it down, it costs 75 cents per day for the average household out there for firefighters. And that's no more than that cup of coffee that you purchase at Marathon Station or, some item that you purchase that day. So we have Mayor Tom Henry. The Fort Wayne Fire Department provides excellent public safety service. Their efforts are critical as we strive to be a safe and welcoming community. I appreciate their commitment and dedication to customer service, public outreach, education, and implementation of best practices. We also have our fire chief. The Fort Wayne Fire Department will continue to provide efficient, quality service with the compassion and professionalism that all who interact with us have come to expect. It's why we suit up for work every day. It's the reason we are proud of the patches on our sleeves. And firefighters are very proud. We're very proud of serving this community on a daily basis, and we are very appreciative of the support that we receive not only by you guys, but by the citizens in our community. So with that, this is all looking forward to respectful, fair, and mutually beneficial negotiations, and we thank you guys for taking the time, allowing us to address council, and we open it up to any questions that you may have or...
Okay, any questions or comments?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, well, thank you for coming to the table.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate all you do.